What's up, everybody? It's Andrew, theMewsthebest, here with week 6 of the Power Rankings, and here is my co-host. Introduce yourselves once again.
How's it going, guys? It's Hayden, and we're here doing the Power Rankings again, because we're the GOAT.
And horse.
Yeah.
So how's it been doing with you since the last week? Things been doing good?
Yeah, it's just busy.
I've been really busy. If anyone here subscribed to my channel, you'll know that I didn't upload week 5, and I'm getting to that. I'm really sorry about that. I'm planning to upload week 5 and week 6 as a consecutive video, or as a combined video because of stuff. Anyways, enough rambling. We should just get right to it. No one wants to know about us. So at number 16, we have the San Antonio Victory Bells. They lost to the Hamden Hydrogons and Cloud Envy, who is taking over for J Specs for this week. What did you think about that match?
Well, he almost started sweeping Togekiss RuneQuest Darmanitan Superior against a team. I just feel like he just didn't have enough offensive power to deal with both a fully defensive Gramble and a fully Spadef Masquerain, which is kind of weird to say, because even though Masquerain's not really known as a wall, but Gramble kind of is. Yeah. But Masquerain just, I think he said he had HP flying on the Superior. That was doing like 25 to 30% to the Masquerain. Yeah, if he hit it on a +2, then it would have done more, but still, that still would have been doing 0 to Masquerain. It's probably because Superior doesn't. Everyone thinks it's like a super strong wall breaker, but it's only a strong wall breaker after it gets to +2. Yeah, and I think he had it at +2 what was it? It was like 4 turns before the end of the game, and he switched out predicting Bug Buzz, but I believe Envy went for Sticky Web, so if he went for Leaf Storm again, and then went for HP Flying, then he might have could have swayed because he was at +4 by then, but yeah, Cloud just he played really well. He's a pretty good friend of mine, so it's cool to see him take the W, but unfortunate for Arcanine, of course. He won 4-0, and he's now 3-3. 3-3. 3 wins, 3 losses, -1. And yeah, he's now in playoffs, and he played really well and stuff. Yeah, it's just, let's see if Arcanine can win next week, right? Yeah. I believe in him. I believe in him too. So, should we just go to the next one? Yeah, why not? Okay, so next up is the New York Cosmogs Phantom Base versus Sharpedo, the Sydney Crocodiles. So, Phantom Base, I don't know why I waited there. He brought Magearna, Alolan Marowak, Latios, Regirock, Hitmontop, Araquanid. How do you even pronounce that? Yeah, it's such a weird mon to pronounce. Yeah. Sometimes it pronounces Araquanid, sometimes it pronounces Araquanid. It's just... I think it is Araquanid. Let's go with that. Okay, Araquanid. That sounds cool. Let's go with that. And Sharpedo, he brought Tapu Koko, Cresselia, Mega Houndoom, Skarmory, Crocodile, and Snorlax. So it was a pretty interesting match. Unfortunately, Phantom there, he lost another pretty big match back-to-back with 6-0 last week and the 5-0 this week. What are you thinking about that? Yeah, he lost 5-0, but he didn't really misplay any of this game. He just literally could not touch Sharp's Skarmory after Alolan Marowak went down. I mean, even Magearna with, I believe he had Calm Mind, but at neutral, the Aura Sphere was doing like 35 to 40% every time, and he could just boost up the damage. And then once he went for Calm Mind, or once Sharp got up high enough, he would just whirlwind him out. And this loss brings Phantom down to 1-5 minus 16, which puts him 2 games back of a playoff spot, which at 1-5 is kind of mind-boggling that he can be 2 games back, but he really has to win out and then hope some people lose and kind of lose bad.
Yeah, hope that he gets his differential higher, because that could really bring him back. His team, Alola Marowak did really well, but the thing is, because Alola Marowak is so slow, the things that Alola Marowak threatens can easily get revenge killed by nearly everything on his team. So that was just a really unfortunate matchup for him. Magearna was not able to put up the work because the things that Magearna needed to be weakened to sweep or to break, it couldn't happen because of the team composition that was brought.
Yeah, Sharp's just brought the right combination the last 2 weeks to get that differential back up to where it needs to be. Just bad luck that Phantom didn't have anything for Skarmory.
Yeah, Skarmory's a beast. To be honest, a lot of these games are a whole bunch of defense mons that are just like putting in work.
Oh yeah, there is one. We'll get to it later though. I'll talk about it later. So
next up is the Colorado Mamoswines, who lost to the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Sorry about that. With Bird there, and so basically, the Colorado Mamoswines, they lost 4-0. They couldn't keep up with Bird and stuff. You got Hadron, Weezing, Jolteon, Tapu Fini, Ambipom, and Espeon, which is a interesting composition of mons. While Bird had Metagross, Blaziken, Hydreigon, Scolipede, Nidoqueen, and Zapdos. I don't really know how to feel about his group of mons. What do you think that the Colorado Mamoswines brought?
Colorado Mamoswines, the mons he brought, 3 of his offensive mons were frail. Can't take a hit with glass cannons. And then Aggron was that one that could head smash something into just destroy it, but he accidentally copied Weezing's Black Sludge when he was building his Aggron. And so that really hurt him, and he just decided to sack it off. I believe it was turn 3 to Zapdos, and with this 0-4 loss, he drops down to 2-4 minus 4, and there really wasn't that much to say about this battle. He played extremely safe, and
Bird just took advantage of that.
He just attacked what was in front of him when he had his offensive mons out. And Bird just switched out and predicted him nearly every time.
Bird was, to be honest, because of the way the Colorado Mamoswines Zero was playing, Bird was just making the safe plays because he was just making those plays the entire time. And because he was so far ahead, he didn't really have much to lose. So at that point of the game, the Colorado Mamoswines probably should have made more prediction, being in such a bad position.
Yeah, I think at one point, Bird was up 6-2.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was sack him on that he didn't need anymore.
Yeah.
And bring out something that dealt with, I believe, Tapu Fini and Weezing were the last 2. And
yeah.
He could have won 6-0, but he played it safe at the end. We got the 4-0, which is still great.
It's still a good match. Do you have really anything to say about that match, or no?
No, that's about it for...
Okay. So we're going to go to our number 13. The Orlando Superiors lost to the Montreal Monfernos 0-2. It was a pretty nice match, and the Montreal Monfernos are not a team that you can sleep on. So what are you thinking about that?
This was the match that I was talking about earlier. The Montreal Monfernos, coached by Blue Victini, they had Golbat, Tangrowth, Landorus, Manaphy, Heatran, and Donphan. And Golbat, Tangrowth, Heatran, and Donphan all seemed like they were all defensive mons.
Yeah.
And D-Pad Gamer, coach of Orlando City, he brought Landorus, Arcanine, Scizor, Primarina, Tesserina, and Alolan Raichu. And he basically lost to O2 because he couldn't break through those 4 mons until very
late in the game, and by then it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I've just never seen someone bring 4 defensive walls like that to a match.
Yeah. I personally like to play bulky offense, so I usually play, even with my walls and stuff, I play pretty offensive with them. That's just how I play, though.
Yeah. I think Tangrowth might have been max HP. I know he was Assault Vest, but I think he was max HP, maybe mixed attack or something.
Yeah.
But it was definitely surprising seeing 4 walls like that brought.
Yeah. Both teams played really well. Blue Victini's biggest misplay was going for a knockoff late game on the Lando T, and because he lost some differential with that. But yeah, D-Pad himself, the Orlando City Superiors, they didn't play bad. He just couldn't break that team, and it was just really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it just goes back to the 4 walls that Victini brought. It was good prep on his part because he won the battle, and for D-Pad, he's still only 1 game back of the playoffs, but at minus 12 differential, that puts him 14 differential points between him and 5th place right now. So
yeah, that's pretty tough.
Basically, yeah. He just has to hope to win more right now instead of differential-wise.
Yeah. So, should we just move on to our number 12?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, this match was the Phoenix Incineroar's Jonah versus the Red Spark Vikabolts, who is Dolphin Squared. So basically, Jonah, he brought Magnezone, Kabutops, Whimsicott, Mienshao, Necrozma, and Diggersby against the Thundy T, Celesteela, Celebi, Chomp, Ariados, and Meloetta. Ariados was a pretty interesting bring, but Webb's was really nice and such. It was a 2-0 separate match, or whatever you would call it. So, what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, Dolphin, he lost 0-2, but there really weren't any complaints. It was another good match that we've seen this week, just like the last one. But I think during prep, Ariados was a mistake because even though Sticky Webs is good,
that's all it really did.
It really only slowed down the Whimsicott because Mienshao could be Scarf and Diggersby could be Scarf, but you already have... He brought 4 mons that could be faster than both of them, so I think if he would have brought something else besides Ariados, he might have actually
had a better chance of winning.
Won this match because Ariados really was just sacked off there. So it was basically 6-on-5 from the beginning.
Yeah. Jonah Isolate, he played really well. He was thinking really well about the late game, I meant. And knowing that Mienshao was his win con and preserved it really well, chipping down his team and just breaking things and winning.
Yeah, that Mienshao, it 2-code the Celesteela, however you say that, the Skarmory knockoff. It 2-code that, it Stone Edged, switched out, and then switched back in, and I jump kicked it. So, things strong.
Yeah. It was a good match, though. Even at number 12, they still put up a good fight. It was only 2 2-0 difference between the loss, and it was just a really intense match. I really enjoyed it. What about you?
It was a great match, just like most of the matches were this week, actually.
Yeah, this week was pretty nice besides a couple of things, but I don't want to be rude, so let's just move on. We have Johnny Boy, the Oregon Ducklets versus the Mastodon Gastrodons with the Mastodon. So, Masto, he brought the Raptor, Genesect, Probopass, Dugtrio, Mimikyu, Latias, and let me just say, Genesect, it's so scary. It
didn't even hit the field though. He didn't even need it.
Yeah, he didn't even need it, and that was pretty intense. So yeah, the Oregon Ducklets, they brought Tyrantrum, Decidui, Jirachi, Emboar, Tauros, Tentacruel. Genesect could have put in work, but it didn't even really need to, and he still won 3-0. It was a pretty intense match. Well,
yeah, he was just saving it back late game just in case he needed it.
Yeah.
But Johnny's notes, he lost 0-3, but it's back-to-back very good battling weeks for Johnny, but the team matchup this week really seemed a bit out of his favor.
He just really didn't have anything.
Yeah, if you look at Mastro's team, he has Dugtrio and Genesect and Staraptor, which all
takes out like his entire team.
Just Oko, yes. Oko is his entire team that it brought.
Yeah, it was just really unfortunate.
But this loss does drop Johnny out of the playoffs for now. He's now 6th in the conference, but he has 4 weeks to make it up, and I fully expect him to do it. This was one of our top 3 battlers, in my opinion, that he faced this weekend. Yeah. Even though it was a 3-0, it really was
a closer game than that. And also, props to Johnny there, he brought a dual scarf to deal with Dugtrio, which was a really nice bring on him to just bait out the Dougie and just hurt it like that. It was really nice.
Yeah, I forgot to put it down here. He also had a Shed Shell Tyrantrum.
Yeah, which was really nice. He brought a really nice team and dealt with Dougie really well, even though Dougie just pressured him so much. He handled it really well despite losing.
He might have had Shed Shell Emboar.
Yeah. That could have been nice.
He cooked really well for that Dugtrio, and he really needed to, with only Decidueye being able to take an Earthquake.
Yeah, and also only just Decidueye being able to switch out freely because of it's a ghost type. So yeah, do you have really anything to say to that match?
There was one set of plays early on where Tyrantrum Toxic the Mimikyu on I believe it got roared in, and when Mimikyu went for a Swords Dance, the Tyrantrum Toxic did, and then Johnny switched out into Jirachi for the Play Rough, back out into Tyrantrum for the Shadow Sneak, and then it ate a Shadow Claw, and got up rocks right after that. So
and Mimikyu just died there, which was really nice. Predicting him to predict the Jirachi was just a really nice double, and it was a really good series of switches for him.
Good job, Johnny.
Good job. We believe in you. Maybe we should not talk too much about this, so we have at least a couple sentences to say when we get back to him, Mastodon. So yeah, we're going up to a match, and we weren't really sure what to do with this because unfortunately they didn't play yet. It was the Seattle Smeargles versus Grimsby Town. It wasn't a forfeit win or a forfeit loss. Neither coach neither played.
Yeah, it's just did not play for now.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of surprised to hear that.
Yeah. Hopefully we can go back to it at a later week and talk about it just briefly, but for now we're just gonna have to keep the Sketchy Smeargle and the Seattle Smeargles at number 10. So climbing up the ladder is the Hamden Hydreigons with Cloud Envy. He's at number 9. We talked about this match. Do you have what do you think about how Cloud played?
He just played. I don't know if he played necessarily very well. I think he prepped very well.
He prepped really well.
And then he just played behind what he prepped. I know that's kind of a weird sentence to say, but like the Masquerade, even when, what was it? I believe Infinite was at +2 after a sword stance. Even though he could have mock punched and got tons of damage off, instead of letting the Superior set up a little bit, he immediately switched out to Masquerade to save a little bit of differential, and it paid off for him in the end game with a 4-0 win.
He played pretty nicely, making only the necessary plays because he didn't really need to make any bold predictions, because looking at the matchup and looking at the team matchup in general, he didn't really need to make any big plays to make the win, so he just did whatever is necessary to win. And him for that.
Also, Greninja 2-code the Suicune.
Which is kind of crazy because it's a Suicune. Yeah, I kind of dropped down after the Dark Pulse, the Grass Knot just dropped it, which is pretty surprising. Suicune isn't the heaviest mon. It's a bit heavier because it's a legendary, and most legendaries are pretty heavy, but that's still pretty surprising, I would say.
Yeah, it's just one of those mons that
you don't expect to be 2-code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Protein Greninja.
Yeah. Protein Greninja is another interesting mon that's led in the league.
Yeah, I like that there's a few questionable mons in this league.
Yeah,
it's nice
it makes it, it's a bit refreshing. Yeah. Kind of clash words there, but whatever. So next we're going back to another repeat match. I think, are the rest of these repeat matches? I believe so. So we got the Phoenix and Sunroars at number 8 versus the Red Spark Vicovolts. We talked briefly about this, and yeah, he just played pretty well against him and kept in mind the late game, and yeah.
Yeah, he basically just, every time he had a free switch in, he would end up being Xiao and he killed something.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just that.
Yeah, he just managed his win cons really well. With the regenerating stuff, he was able to keep Mian Xiao healthy basically the whole time, where he was put in a position where he could just make safe plays, and even if he did make a mistake, Mian Xiao could just come in and kill something, so...
And being 3-3 +2 with 4 weeks left and having a game lead on the next on the people outside of the wild card races.
Yeah, pretty
nice. Seeing that most of the other coaches that have like a 2-4 record have a -6 or worse differential, so having that 3-3 positive differential is pretty big for this late stretch.
Yeah. So, do you really have anything to say else about that? I don't really have anything else to say.
No, just Mian Xiao. Good job. Good job, Mian Xiao.
Good job. So, we have Sharpino with a 5-0 win against the New York Cosmogs, Phantom Base. At number 7. I think we covered most of what we came here, but the reason why the Sydney Crocodiles are still pretty high is because they've just been playing really consistently and such. They've been playing really well. They're at 4-2 +9, and there was just no reason to put them any lower or any higher.
Yeah, especially over the last 2 weeks. They've had easily the best record in the league the last 2 weeks with 2-0 +11 differential. It's just because last week Calm Mind Cresselia swept, and then this week Skarmory just walled everything. So his walls are
just putting really the wall work,
holding them together right now, and I think that's going to push him into the playoffs. He's 4-2 +9. Personally, right now, it looks like if you have 5-5 and a positive differential, so you'll get into the playoffs. So he's looking at one more win and just the same differential at this point.
So, yeah, because you covered this, I personally don't have anything else to say on this. Do you have anything else to add on before we move on?
Oh, no. We can move on.
Alright, so we're going to number 6, almost reaching our top 5. We have the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, and it's crazy how such a good battler can be ranked on our number 6. He played really well, but the people above him played really well too, which is pretty nice, you know?
Yeah, the only reason he didn't move up is because most of the people above him won this week, actually.
Yeah.
He's definitely a playoff battler.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Go look at his other leagues, you can tell he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And he won 4-0 this week. He improved to 4-2 plus 9. It's just another one of those. Just get above that 5-win mark and sustain your differential. And I think he definitely will. I think he's easily a 7-win team right now. And really, all he had to do was make the same safe switches all game and let Zero sack his moms one after the other until it was just Tapu and Finney and Wheezy versus Vert's whole team.
Yeah. So, yeah, Vert is just a really great battler, and I've also seen experienced battling him in the NPL minors. Sorry about that, I'm rambling about myself, but currently he's undefeated, so, and NPL minors is a pretty tough league, so if you want to estimate of how good he is, and that's there, so, yeah. He beat me too. Sad.
You'll get him next time.
Yeah. Hopefully I make playoffs to go against him. So, next up, we got the Montreal Monfernos again. Well, not again, but you know what I mean. They played.
They won. They had the wall team. They did good. They went to 4-2 plus 6. And even though they have a worse differential than the two under them, I just didn't see any reason for
him to drop.
Yeah, just to drop. They played very well, they prepped very well, and they did what they had to do to win this week.
So yeah, that's basically what we... Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I just noticed that our 5, 6, 7 played our last week's 13, 14, and 15 in the power rankings.
Damn, that's crazy. Maybe we did it on purpose. I'm kidding, no. So, yeah, now that we have the Illuminati-like thing out of the way, we can go back to number 4. And unfortunately, we're going back to the Seattle Smirgles versus the Grimsby Town Grimers. Unfortunately, they did not play. So...
Yeah, I almost dropped the Grimers down because they didn't get their match played in, but I didn't think that was very fair to them, seeing how well they've played over the last few weeks. They're on a 3-game win streak, I think, now.
Yeah.
Going into this week, and they've just been playing very well, and I didn't see any reason for them to drop any more than from, I believe I dropped them 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And that's just because one of our other battlers played
really well.
Yeah.
So basically, I kind of lied. We do have another loser.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty big upset match with the 4th place team, the SL Benfica Haircross Knight, beating our number 1 team, Jacob as always, and the Green Bay Pikachus. He won.
And what's good?
3-0.
Yeah, we can talk about them both because
they're like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, beating the number 1, that's just really nice. Hera has been playing extremely well lately. I've been really impressed with how he's been playing the last like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even 4. I don't remember, but he's been playing really nice. What do you think about it?
Yeah, he's been doing well. I looked back on the sheet when I was looking for the Grimers and Smirgles match, and I believe that I saw that Hera is 4-0 plus 10 or something like that the last 4 weeks. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
Yeah.
But Jacob, he just played 2 good coaches the last 2 weeks. They had teams that played very well, and he had a few unfortunate little pieces of hacks that I'll tell you guys right now. He missed a Stone Edge on Mandibuzz from a Rhyperior, which would have easily 2-coat. It was like 70%. And instead, Mandibuzz outsped
and foul
hit him with 2 foul plays and scared the Rhyperior out. And so Mandibuzz was still there around late game to deal with the Volcarona. And then Clefable got flinched on Cabalion's Ironhead late game, which really, at that point, it only mattered in differential, really.
To be honest, good Mons get hacked. Clefable always gets hacked, I swear.
I feel like fairies get hacked a lot.
True. Unless you're talking like Magira.
I'm talking about all fairies.
Yeah.
They just get hacked out a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Sylveon? This is in my league, the ISO. It literally went a full season with some hacks happening to it every game.
And
it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. In another league, it was more of a casual league. I did this at the same time as another league, so I wasn't being too serious about it. I had a Clefable, and it had It had Cosmic Powers and Calm Minds up, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna win. No.
Never works out.
Never works out.
Jacob, he lost 0-3. He drops down to 4-2 plus 7.
Yeah.
And he loses his reign of being number 1 in the power rankings.
Yeah.
But really, I didn't see any reason to drop him below 3 because
he still played well.
Yeah, he played well. He prepped well, and if that Stone Edge hit the first time,
things could have gone a lot differently, but there's no way to really tell because of how it was in the match.
So, he's my number 3 this week.
Yeah, and he could still easily make playoffs too. He's 4-2 plus 7. That's still really good considering how the other coaches are doing right now.
Yeah, he's still 2 games up on coaches that are outside of the playoffs. And which division is he in? Or conference?
I don't remember.
I think he's almost plus 20 differential up on the first team out of the playoffs in his conference.
Dang.
If I'm thinking about the right division. So yeah, he's still in a very, very good spot for playoffs.
Yeah. So, going consecutively after that is the number 2 Heracross Knight, so I guess we're gonna extend talking about him a bit more. Maybe lower boost his ego a little bit, you know?
Like he needs that.
Yeah. Yeah, he brought a nice composition of teams. Cortana's been doing really nice. Swellow is nice, being Toxapex, Cobalion, Uxie, Mandibuzz. They just did really well and stuff.
Yeah, he uses Toxapex extremely well. Like, even though it's a wall, he just uses that. That's probably one of his best used mons.
Yeah.
He knows not to let it take unnecessary damage if he can, and he keeps it healthy to deal with the mons that it has to.
They're just so fat, and regenerate is just a really hard thing to play against because it comes back with more health than you damage it, so getting chip damage on it is really tough. So really, you've got to get it down to nearly dead or Oko it and able to get rid of it.
Yep. And Hera improves with the 3-0 win to 5-1 plus 13, and that means he is tied for the best record in the PMC with the Gastrodons.
Gastrodons.
Yeah, and he played very well, and he got a little lucky, which is what I think you need to go deep in a good league like the PMC is.
Yeah. And even without that, it's not like he played bad at all. He played really well.
He really did, yeah.
Yeah, so let's end this off with our number one. The Mastodon, Gastrodons, with the Mastodon and the Gastrodons and the stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Genesex. That's what they should be called.
Genesex.
Change the names. The Mastodon Genesex. Because that thing is scary.
It's super scary. It's... I've never seen it been used in like a really competitive league before. It's just pretty crazy.
I've known a few leagues that almost let it in, but
yeah,
this is the first one that I've actually seen it used in last week. It destroyed a team this week. It didn't even need to come out. And was like, I don't gotta do nothing.
It just sat back and watched.
Also, Probopass got a kill.
Yeah, Probopass is bomb.
Like, seeing it used, I really want to use it in my league so bad. Oh, man.
I would, but I kind of don't want to. I'm kidding. No.
Yeah, it's just one of those months. Like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, sometimes you want to get those memes, but then you kind of want to win, so.
I mean, he won 3-0. He improves to 5-1 plus 13, which, as I just said, is tied for the best record in the PMC with Hera. But really, there wasn't really anything too exciting in this match. He just played safe. He U-turned with Raptor every time to get momentum. Went into Duck Trio as much as he could, and paid off anyone with +3 differential to keep the top spot in the league.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he got a bit lucky with Desidui's Brave Bird, and he lives with 3 HP and then knocks out Desidui.
Oh yeah, both of his Staraptor with Scarf and Decidueye with Scarf. And I think he said he predicted Decidueye to go for a U-turn, so he just went into Staraptor, which didn't have Intimidate this week. And Decidueye would have did a lot to his team at that point because Probopass was gone, so there wasn't really anything holding it back at that point.
Yeah. But we have proven who is the better bird. Staraptor. So, if you got nothing else to say, we can say our outro.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm good for this week.
Yeah, so that's week 6 of the PMC power rankings. You know, one of these days, we need to arrange our own special outro. We need to show them the power of the goat and the horse. We need to do it one day.
Yeah, try to do it.
Yeah, but for now, I'm just gonna say bye. What about you? You got anything special to say?
Nah,